Joining us now, Bryan Hayes. So, Bryan, Brad Treliving reshaped this Leafs forward group over the offseason, saying he added a little bit more snot to the lineup. And then the Marchand incident happens on Thursday night, and there was no response at all from the Leafs. So, how big of a problem is this lack of toughness, or at least what they're showing here with the Leafs right now?
I think it's a big problem, but I also think it's very predictable because I think in team sports, as you know, Glenn, generally the best players determine the lifeline of the team, the response of the team, and the fact of the matter is the best players on this team, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, John Tavares, they all have the same disposition on the ice, and they never react. They never get angry. It never happens. So you can bring in Ryan Reeves, you can bring in Bertuzzi, Domi. Last year, you can bring in O'Reilly, you can bring in Achari, you can bring other players in. Nick Foligno a few years ago. At some point, the big boys have to determine that things are going to change in the way the Leafs actually respond to these types of plays. And I'm not holding my breath. They're all into their 7th, 8th years. John Tavares has been in this league for a long time. We didn't see a response from any of them last night. I don't think it's a good look. I can't imagine the new GM's too happy.
All right, you mentioned Bertuzzi. He was, of course, one of Treliving's big offseason additions, and he played just 3 shifts in the third period Thursday night, which is more than what he played the previous game when he only played a couple of shifts in the third against the Kings. So is this a slow start or a serious problem right now for the Leafs?
I think it's a slow start still for Tyler Bertuzzi because he's a veteran player, but he's still in his prime, right? This isn't the wheels falling off. He's on his 3rd team now in less than a year. Obviously, he knew Detroit very well. Then he goes to Boston. Now he comes up to Toronto. This is a big moment for him. He signed a 1-year deal. He got paid pretty well, but this is a platform season. So I'm sure he's overthinking things. Sheldon Keefe has got him in the doghouse, which I am surprised by it's happened that quickly. But he's a good player, and he's just got to find his role. And I think it's incumbent on the head coach to do that as well. I think Sheldon Keefe's got to play a role in this. You got to find a way to trigger Tyler Bertuzzi, because we saw what he brought to the Bruins down the stretch, especially into the playoffs. He was a good player in Detroit. If he's healthy, he can contribute. Ask me again in 10 games, might be a different story, but at the 10-game mark, I'm still counting on Tyler Bertuzzi playing a big role in this team.
You mentioned the 10 games played by the Leafs. Well, they're already 7 points back of the Bruins for top spot in the division. Don't forget, the conversation continues on TikTok. Check out @TSN, where Hayes will be grading all of Brad Treliving's offseason additions.